Hello, and welcome to a 25-minute rest and recovery restorative yoga flow. I designed this flow after I spent an entire weekend doing multiple surfing sessions. So, this flow is designed for you to unwind, rest, and recover, and to give your body and mind some space and time to slow down and to connect into your rest and digest parasympathetic state. Our nervous systems can sometimes become trapped in the sympathetic state and be overworking, especially if we have overworked our bodies or overworked our minds and we're storing a lot of tension. So let's begin today's practice in a supported fish pose with one block underneath the scapulas and one block underneath the head, relaxing the arms out wide to the side. Ignore my dog here. He's just loving that I'm spending some time on the floor with him. And then you can have your legs either in a Baddha Konasana shape, a butterfly bound angle shape, or you can release the legs long, whatever feels more comfortable to you. If you have your legs in the butterfly shape and your legs feel like they can't relax, you can place either some folded blankets or towels underneath each leg on the outer thigh to help support the legs so that your body can fully relax. Tune into the breath, sending the breath into the chest, the ribs, and the belly, and then allowing the breath to exit the body through the belly, the ribs, and the chest. Continuing to flow through this Trikon 3-part breath. Grounding down into the space. Building presence by bringing our awareness to our breath and into our body. Supported fish is a heart-opening posture, so this is really good for us to do if we spend a lot of time sitting at a desk, scrolling on our phones. Allows our chest to find more opening, relaxing the shoulders away from our ears, away from our neck. And these heart-opening postures are just really good for allowing our body to remember that we don't need to always be working so hard to hold ourselves up. Our head is a really heavy part of our body. And so if we don't have great posture, these types of postures can really help release tension from the neck and shoulders. Continue tuning into the breath. Releasing everything into the ground beneath you, allowing the blocks to support you. Slowly begin to bend the knees and then roll onto one side gently, moving off of the blocks beneath you. Come up to a seated position. Move the blocks out of the way. And I have two options for you here. So you can either grab your bolster and place the bolster in front of you, and then reach your arms out, placing your hands over the bolster. We're coming into a puppy dog pose here. So you can either place the bolster here underneath your forearms, allowing you to find more of a heart opening shining the chest forward down toward the mat. Or alternately, you can place the bolster under your thighs, under the hamstrings, in between your shins and hamstrings, so that you're sitting on the bolster, and then place blocks underneath your arms. What the blocks or bolster allows you to do is to find a little bit more opening through the chest. As I mentioned, I spent a lot of time surfing this weekend, so I am loving having a little bit of extra space to allow my shoulders and chest to find more opening. You can also do this posture with your hands directly on the mat. I just find that it helps me find a little bit of a deeper opening by elevating my hands up a little bit above my head. You can also bring the fingertips onto the blocks to find deeper opening. But in this posture, we really want to aim to send our hips away from our hands, lengthening the spine, turning the triceps inward and our upper arms out, externally rotating our arms so that our shoulders can relax a bit more in this posture. Releasing the head and neck down to the mat, letting all the tension in the body simply float away. In this practice, some of these postures can become quite intense after holding them for a few minutes. So notice how things are coming up in your mind. Notice how processing in the body allows some things to process in the mind. And just observe the thoughts without judgment. Use the breath as a tool to send the body the message that it's safe. We might be moving the body in ways it's not used to. So by using the breath to regulate the nervous system, we feel safer in our bodies and allow our bodies to relax and release tension, finding ways to let go, even as we explore new territory. Take one more round of deep breath here. As you inhale in, maybe walk the fingertips forward a bit more. And as you exhale, releasing the hips down toward the heels. On the next inhale, coming onto the fingertips, and then threading the right arm underneath the left arm, threading the needle through, continuing to open up the shoulder blades. If you are pressed for space, like I am here because of my really sweet little dog, you can bend at the elbow and press the wrist back in space. This will help to find more opening deep into the shoulder socket on the right side. We won't hold this posture for too long. And then we'll switch to the other side. We'll keep this stretch a little bit more active, pressing the right hand into the right block or into the bolster. Or again, if you're pressed for space on the left side, you can bend the left elbow and use the right hand to press down the left wrist back in space to find more deep opening through the left shoulder socket. Take one more deep inhalation here. And then as you exhale, begin to press up through the right hand, unthreading the left arm, coming back into a tabletop position. And then we'll move our blocks off to the side and then bring the bolster to the front of the mat in front of your knees. Stepping the right foot in front of the bolster at a 45-ish degree angle. There's no need for the shin to be at a 90-degree angle here. And then stepping the left foot back a bit more so that our thigh, our upper left thigh, is resting on top of the bolster and that our hips are level and our sacrum is neutral. You can bring the blocks. I like to bring one block underneath my chest lengthwise on the medium height and the other block widthwise on the medium height under my head. Lower the head and neck and chest down onto the blocks for a restorative pigeon pose. We have some options here. You can either keep the arms where they are with the elbows underneath the shoulders, just gently supporting you. Or you can walk the fingertips forward, lengthen out the arms, reaching away from your feet. This option is a bit more active, but I find that it allows me to find a full lengthening of the spine and a deeper opening through my right outer hip. Imagine that there's a string attached to your back foot, pulling your leg back in space, while there's two other strings attached to your wrists, pulling you forward in space. With each inhale, lengthening and extending the spine, becoming longer. And with each exhale, releasing a little bit of tension somewhere. If at any point reaching the arms out long becomes too intense, you can return the arms back underneath the shoulders. This practice is about rest and recovery. It doesn't have to be active. Our hips can be very, very tight and store a lot of tension and trauma. So in your pigeon pose, really try to practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself and whatever thoughts are coming up for you in this posture. Know that however you feel in this moment is part of the process of healing, of working through whatever it is that you're going through at this moment. Walk the hands back underneath the hips and switch the legs, stepping the right leg back and stepping the left leg forward over the bolster so that the shin is in front of the bolster at around a 45-ish degree angle. Stepping the right foot back long until you feel that your sacrum is neutral and that your hips are about level and square over the bolster. Again, using the blocks as a support here underneath the chest and underneath the head. And either keeping the arms where they are or walking them slightly forward, maybe keeping the fingertips tented, stretching through your lats and your intercostals as well as the outer left hip. Using the breath as a tool, a gateway into a calmer state of mind. If you're experiencing some tension or intensity, numbness, any type of feeling really, bring that area to your mind. And on the next inhale, send your breath to that area of the body. Our mind is a very, very powerful tool, and bringing intention into our breath work and our body work can allow us to unlock areas of stored trauma and stored tension. If you find that you're gripping anywhere, use the breath to help you release. If your arms are still active, you might walk them back, allowing the forearms to melt into the mat. One more round of breath here. And as you exhale, walk your hands back in line with your hips. Slide the blocks out of the way. Swing your legs around so that they're in front of the bolster. Bring the bolster underneath the knees. And then roll the spine down onto the mat, allowing the ankles to splay out wide and the arms to rest on either side of the torso. Coming into our final resting shape of Shavasana. Before we fully descend, I'll lead you through a breath practice. We'll begin to deepen the inhales and deepen the exhales. Inhale and exhale. This time, inhale for 4 counts. Hold at the top. Exhale for 4 counts. Hold at the bottom. Inhale 4 counts. Hold. Exhale 4 counts. Hold. One more round with me. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. You can either continue this box pattern breathing at your own pace or return to normal breathing and release all control. There's nothing left for you to do here. In this Shavasana corpse pose, we're sealing in our practice. We've reached our final destination. So we'll scan through the body, first noticing our toes and our feet, scanning through the ankles and the shins, noticing if we're still gripping anywhere. Bring attention to the knees, to the thighs, hamstrings, into the hips, the pelvis, then into the lower belly. Are we holding the breath? Are we clenching the stomach? Allowing the belly to rise and fall. Releasing any tension in the chest, in the arms, in the neck. Finally, releasing the tongue from the roof of our mouth, the jaw, relaxing the space between our eyebrows, even allowing our eyes to drop deep into the back of our eye sockets. If you need a little more time, you can stay in Shavasana. Or if you're coming out with me, you can bend the knees, place the feet onto the bolster, sway the knees from side to side. Maybe take a big good morning stretch of the arms long overhead. Just gently waking up the body. And in your own time, rolling onto one side. Taking a moment here before you come up to notice the effects of your practice. To send a bit of gratitude to yourself for carving out 25 minutes of your day and just showing up, giving your body what it needs and what it's asking for. If you're ready, you can press into the ground, roll up and find a seat on your bolster, crossing the shins, coming into Sukhasana, easy seat. Take a few cleansing breaths here. Bringing the hands to the chest. And then bringing the prayer to your forehead, pressing the thumbs into the third eye space in between the eyebrows. If it feels comfortable to you, take a bow to seal in your practice. Thank you so much for showing up on the mat today and giving your mind and body the space it needs to recover.